Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Aidan Sullivan, and I'm the Vice President of Photo Assignments at Getty Images. Behind every image, there's a story. Whether that story is told by a Getty Images photographer, filmmaker, or editor, one constant remains: the passion we all share for all types of imagery. For the next podcast in our ongoing series, co-founder and Chief Executive Officer at Getty Images, Johnathan Klein, talks with award-winning photojournalist Paula Bronstein. Since 1998, Paula has been covering news and feature stories all over the world, with extensive coverage in Afghanistan. Quite simply, Paula has what it takes. She's tough, tenacious, courageous, and has earned her place as a member of an elite group of men and women who travel the world as photojournalists. And she is one of the most highly respected members of her profession. With every event that she covers, be it the aftermath of the Southeast Asia tsunami or her long-term project on female burns victims, Paula is successful in creating award-winning, thought-provoking, and world-renowned imagery.
Hi, Paula. I understand that you're quite a long way away and you haven't had dinner. Tell us where you are, rather than sharing on how hungry you are.
I'm in Kabul, Afghanistan right now.
How much time have you spent in Afghanistan?
My very first time going into Afghanistan was after the Taliban fell in Kandahar. So I was amongst the first journalists to go in the south. And I've been coming here up to 3 times a year since then.
What's it like now as a woman photojournalist in Afghanistan?
I love Afghanistan, although it can be difficult to work here as a woman. Sometimes it's not that easy.
Do you think on balance it brings you advantages because you're able to get access to women and children, thereby enabling you to do these extraordinarily intimate photos?
I can certainly get more intimate photographs than a man would not be able to get. Just because of the culture here, a man wouldn't be allowed in the house without permission from the husband or a brother. A man would have to be present in the house. I can also talk to women directly, asking their permission, and then there's a trust immediately because they like the attention and they're happy that a woman is interested in their life. And just to meet someone like me sometimes is very interesting to them, because they're curious about my life too.
They play cricket in Kabul too?
They love it.
Tell us a little bit about that.
My understanding of this, and trust me, I'm being American, I'm not a cricket enthusiast myself, but
you don't know what you're missing. I can help you out on that.
So basically my understanding is that many of the Afghan refugees that were living in Pakistan learned cricket there. Like, as you'll see in the photos, they're wearing sandals, they're wearing their shalwar kameez, and then all they need is the bat and the ball.
We should talk about some extraordinary work from you, which is very hard to look at and must be very hard to photograph, and that's the feature on the female burn victims in Afghanistan. If you could tell us a little bit about that.
I'd read about it and seen other photographs, and I thought this is just unbelievable that women are doing this to themselves, basically trying to commit suicide, and doing it in such a way, using cooking oil, boiling cooking oil and pouring it on themselves. I think it's extremely hard for anybody to understand that. I mean, any woman outside of Afghanistan, why would they do this to themselves? The majority of the women here don't have basic control over what happens to their bodies. Women and girls are forced to marry at a very young age. They don't have this freedom that women in the West have, So these women are desperate. They're desperate to escape their lives. To actually photograph a woman who's going through domestic violence issues in the home, I'd never be able to get that kind of access. And it would be very hidden.
Yes.
These stories are hidden because of the way women live here. I know about acid violence in Bangladesh, but this was the first time I had really looked into it in Pakistan. But it's thrown at women to avenge the shame that the woman is accused of bringing to the man. So it's typically over marriage. It's marriage refusals for the most part. It could be arguments in the home, could be sexual advances that are rejected. And Pakistan has a bad history of human rights abuses towards women. There's been many forms of violence that's been reported, violence, rape, honor killings. So the women I met and photographed, I tried to do portraits of them that would show that there's still some beauty, inner beauty, because the outer beauty's been burned away. Because I did it as portraits, a lot of the women were very happy to oblige because they could wear the dress they wanted, they could even put lipstick on, they could try to make themselves feel more normal or human, because a lot of them had lost that sense of beauty. They didn't feel beautiful anymore.
To humanize these massive, epic scale conflicts or natural disasters, and in your feature work is what you are very well known for.
I feel that if you have to be able to feel someone's pain in order to see, oh my God, this is so horrible, but what can we do to make this better for this person? You have to be able to show the sorrow someone's going through, the loss of life, the innocent people, and you have to bring the story to people so that they can relate to it, so that it touches their heart. I was in Bangkok when the tsunami happened. So it's December 26th. There was a great Christmas party the night before, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, we start getting these reports. Within 2 hours, we were trying to charter planes down to southern Thailand, because it was already reported that there were at least a couple thousand dead. By the time I got down there, it was nightfall and there was no electricity. So basically, just tried to shoot everything I could, which was mostly the survivors, all the tourists that were, worried about their loved ones. They were at City Hall, that were camping out outside because now everybody was afraid to go inside, and then stayed up all night. And then when the sun rose, then I tried to get to the places where, people had died, and it was probably one of the most horrific things I had ever seen.
I'm looking at one of your photos of the woman kneeling on the beach. Where was that one shot?
That was actually shot in Sri Lanka, in one of the hard-hit areas. A woman that was just praying on the beach near her destroyed home and had lost 5 or 6 family members. Death was completely surrounding me. And thank God I was with 2 other photographers, because if I was by myself, I think it would have been just too much for me, just by myself. But we could at least, the 3 of us were trying to work together and support each other.
I want to thank you for being a colleague for so long. We're all lucky at Getty Images to work for the same company as somebody like you. We're in awe of what you do. It's extraordinary, and honored and flattered we all are to be on side with you. Thanks again, Paula.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure.